This is the Rebel Author Podcast, where we talk about books, business, and occasionally bad words. Hello, Rebels, and welcome to episode 17 of The Black Herron. Today is a good old chinwag, all about how our year went and what our goals for 2024 are. So enjoy the fireside chitty-chatty with me and Rachel.
Well, hello, Sasha Black.
Hello, darling.
Oh, happy almost New Year.
I am so excited for 2024. I can't even.
We are so close. We are so close. We love this episode. This is probably my favorite episode of the year for all podcasts, for mine, for listening to yours, for listening to others. I just love a recap and a new plan.
Yeah.
But before we do that,
the annual lessons learned or whatever, like Jo just did her 15-year. Oh my God, I was like salivating over it. I just love them.
That is what I do. It's like I skip over anything I haven't listened to and just go straight to that. I will not catch up. I just want to hear people talk about what they have done. But before we get into that, tell me how you have been for the last month.
This month has been the craziest month I have ever experienced in work ever. And that comes off the back of Vegas. So when I say this month has been bonkers, I truly mean it has been insane.
Can you, because I have not caught up with your podcast yet. I am behind on yours. Give me what's the dirt?
So the two big things that have happened, I don't think had I started sprinting with a new person last time we spoke?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I have been working with Cara Claire. And she used to be a ghostwriter, and she is like next level fast. And
when you say that, it gives me heart palpitations. Like
I know, seriously. So we started sprinting together because she's UK based. And funny enough, not too far away. So we've already had like in-person meetups as well. It's been amazing.
An in-person writing friend.
An in-person writing friend.
That's
it's the best thing ever. I am so full of joy.
Oh.
I can't even. I literally adore her already. But what is amazing, so she's number one activator. So she is all energy. What we did is instead of doing timed writing sprints, we're now doing writing sprints we sprint to get to 1,000 words. And it's completely revolutionized like how we write. So much so that I've gone from being able to write about 2,500, 2,600 words in an hour to being able to write 1,000 words in 16 minutes.
Oh my God. What the hell? That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally bonkers. I have never been able to write this fast. And so we do like 16 minutes, a few minutes break, 16 minutes, a few minutes break, 16 minutes, a few minutes break. Now, sex scenes are a little bit slower, like 17, 18 minutes. And if I don't have a plan, so if I don't know what I'm going to write, then it could go up to 20. Like we allot 20 minutes, and then it's like a race to see how quickly we can do it. And like she doesn't have high competition, but because she's so full of energy and has such a historical record of being able to write quickly, she doesn't want to lose. So it's like fantastic because we're both as happy to like, and we're very evenly matched. Like because the way the competition works for me, I will rise to meet whoever I'm against. And because she's better than me, my time rises to meet her. So like we about 50-50 we are. Sometimes I win 50%, sometimes she wins 50%.
That's incredible.
So this was amazing, completely revolutionized the process. We have now, like, we're so attached to each other that we are going to, my cat is demanding to get out. Sorry, everyone. Go on, bugger off. Go. So we are so attached to being able to write together because it's such fun, this new way of writing. It's literally poured like joy petrol on the writing process that we have now planned our entire calendar year, including holidays, because I just don't think I can ever write without her ever again. So God forbid she ever decides she doesn't like me, I'll be screwed. But yeah, so that was the first one. And then the second one is that I had a viral TikTok and my income fucking exploded. Like the whole thing just blew up. I have sold like, I think
Oh my God.
I am this month, I am already double my highest income ever in a month. Yeah, like when I say it blew up, I mean like it fucking blew. And that's just Amazon. It blew on Ingram Spark. Like, and I set up Shopify and I'm already like £1,000 turnover already. And I only did that just before Christmas. Like it
Wait, just before Christmas.
blew.
And we're talking on, so that's that we're talking on December 29th.
Yeah, in a week. I've done over £1,000 turnover on the store in a week.
Tell me, because I haven't been much on TikTok. I mean, like 5 minutes a day, if that. I'm trying to stay off of TikTok. But tell me what was in this video. I'm going to go look for it, obviously. But tell me what the video was.
Do you know? So I was doing coaching with Adam Beswick, who
Oh, I can't wait to listen to that. He was on your show, right?
He was on my show, but so we did coaching, I think after that. He basically was trying to decide whether or not he would do coaching in next year. And so he did this really small cohort of people that he knew. And in true Sasha style, I was a fucking nightmare to coach because, like, unless competition steps on the field, like, we are so super fucking reluctant to do anything, like, proper skeptical, need the data, where's the evidence, show me the proof. And so I'm a nightmare to coach unless I'm like goal oriented, focused, anyway. And so his whole thing with me was just to get me posting consistently. And he knew if I posted consistently, the odds were eventually I'd have something go viral.
Consistently, does he mean 5 times a day or once a day?
So I'm posting between 3 and 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And it is probably taking me 10 minutes a day to do.
Yes. Yeah. And when I was doing that, it was not a big stretch. Because you can batch them and then, yeah.
Yeah, and it just so there's been a couple of things. I've completely shifted my usage. So for somebody like me, and actually for you with the podcast, we are all personality. So we are the platform. We are building a platform around us. I have completely eradicated myself from TikTok. Not completely, because actually I do show my face, and I'm still engaging, but I am using TikTok as a marketing platform. I am not there to do anything other than promote the books. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And that really, really helped switch my mindset. And the other thing that switched my mindset was understanding that you can post the same video more than once, because 90% of the people who see your video are new, whereas on Instagram 90% of the people that see your video are your followers.
Oh, good point. Yeah, these are all things that our friend AK Mulford has told to me repeatedly, and
they really have.
I believe it, and someday I will listen to them. But you are already doing that, so well done.
Yeah.
So what was what was the TikTok just? It was just about the book, and this is the one that soared.
Sorry. Yeah, I should have actually answered the question. I can't even remember. It was like one that I did in like 7 seconds. Oh, I know what it was. It was one of the ones where I'm like, oh, everybody told me that I'd never make any money writing lesbian fiction. And now I'm a full-time author. And it literally took me about 7 seconds to record, and the fucking things made me thousands of pounds this month. Like thousands, multiple thousands of pounds this month. Hey, I can't believe it.
Let me point something out there, though, because there's 2 things happening there, I think, that I'm seeing at the outside, so I can see kind of clearly this, and I can't wait to watch it. But it's about your book. Yes, it gives what your book is. Here, you've told the people what it is, but you've given them a
story.
More importantly, the story, and your competition is stamped all over that moment. Like you said, I couldn't. Watch me, bitch.
Yeah.
So
and the funny thing
both.
is, and I've iterated that, like I'm literally iterating the hooks that work, rephrasing them, different video background, same story.
Yep.
And you get thousands of views, thousands and thousands of watches just by iterating the same hook. And it has been like a mindset shift with like understanding be a writer on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Like iterate the sentence and the wording, but keep the hook or keep the essence of the hook. And it's literally changed everything. Financially changed everything. Like
I
I can't
fucking
even.
adore this.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much I love this. The look on your face is like the cat with the cream or the canary. I'm not sure with the creamy canary. I don't know, but you got it. Oh, I'm so
It's
happy.
such like I have spent this whole month like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, okay, so here's what happened, right? Last month, I wanted to cross a new 1,000 mark
Yeah,
on Amazon only.
yeah.
And I missed it by £47 or something like that. And I was fucking furious. And this was how I started TikToking because I was like,
Because you were
well,
mad.
because I was furious. I was so angry. Rage is so productive for me. And I had passed that marker. So this was like the highest I'd ever done. I passed that like on the 13th. And I'm well in excess of double that now. And it's still going. I don't, this, like, I can't even talk about it without laughing because it's silly money. The amount of money I never thought I'd see in my bank account. Like it's silly money, and I'm so excited. Like I literally have goosebumps
Yes,
talking about it because
me too.
it just means so much to me.
I also love that it's happening now at the end of the year when, you had goals to make money from these books and
I know.
and whatever is happening, you and the universe together are like, no, watch, here it is. Here it is. Look at this
I,
happen.
and this is aside from the fact that I wrote a whole book this month and I set up Shopify. I don't even know how I'm alive. Honestly, this month has been mental. Oh dear.
Oh, that delights me so much. Everything you have said, I've got like a tiny, I don't have, I have the goosebumps one way, but now I have like this tiny headache behind my eyes, which I get when I'm really happy sometimes or like really sad. It's the same, like all my emotions go right there. I'm so pleased.
Oh,
You have
thank
been
you.
working so fucking hard this year.
Oh my God. Yeah, like it feels, that's why I'm so excited for next year because
Yeah.
like it feels like this is my time now. And the other thing that this has done, and I said this to Joe actually, is that this Shopify, but not just Shopify, this whole kind of thing that's happened has made me feel empowered in business in a way that I've never felt before. So I'm doing something and I'm not telling anybody. I'm going to tell you after. So you have to
Yes. Yeah.
remember.
I
But
don't worry.
I have come up with the best business ideas ever that I've ever come up with. And I don't know why it's taken me so long to see these opportunities. But now I'm like a fucking firework for ideas, like so many things. And I'm like, oh my God, I can do this. I can do this. Like literally the whole world is my oyster. And I am so fired up for next year. I'm actually afraid that I'm going to explode. But anyway, I can see that you're wearing a NaNoWriMo winner top.
Where is this the winner? Yeah, this might be that. Yeah. I did win NaNoWriMo. I think the last time we talked, I had not won yet. So I did that. And then, as you know, I took December off. Well, I took it off, but what I did was I was not teaching and I was writing and just like reorganizing my life. And I took a week off and we went traveling. And that was fantastic. And my little sister brought home COVID. She's
Oh
staying with us.
no.
So, and she just had it with us 4 months ago when she was with us in the States, and she got vaccinated 4 weeks ago. So people, it's real, but she's isolating, which is why the sound is not good today. I don't have my mic. I'm in this boomy room, but that's fine. So we went traveling. So I had a week off there, but what I told myself in this month was in December was I was going to rest, and I absolutely did not do that because I just won't. But telling myself I will rest and grabbing the rest like cheekily feels so good to me. Like I could just like yesterday I knocked off at 1 p.m. because I was just like, fuck this, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I've had a fantastic day. I'm done. And then we went to the beach and it just feels like vacation. Um, so I've been doing that, but my big thing, okay, so we are often on the same wavelength. So I can't wait to have this conversation. But like my big thing is that this month I am intuitively following a terrifying thing. This is my decision, and we'll talk about it more in the goals and plans. But I'm pulling. So I wanted. So you've known for like the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years. I have wanted to make more money from writing than I do teaching, so that I can teach less and write more.
Yes.
And
Remind me to tell you about that.
okay, well, so this at the beginning of this month, I was just struck with this thing, which was just this not a voice in my head because I've never heard that. I would love to hear a voice in my head, please. Like people, that would be great. That would be useful. But it was a feeling that said, just stop teaching as much. I know. Oh my gosh, your face. Yes, just stop teaching as much. So I make at least 60% of my income from teaching. And I make a lot from teaching. I make good money. I teach usually 3 to 4 sessions of the 90 days done classes in a year. I'm going to teach one. I'd already committed to one. I was already filling up classes for the January through March session. And that's all I'm going to teach in 2024. It gives me a nightmare. Yesterday, I sat down with the finances and I was like, oh, that's a lot of money that I am just removing from the table. I'm taking it off. I don't get it and I need it. I'm the sole breadwinner right now.
What did you say that? Did you just tell me the figure?
No.
Okay.
The figure, I will talk about the figures on my show next week, probably because I haven't actually done the math yet. But I normally make about $100,000 from teaching, appearances, speaking, all of that. So it's 6 figures. So that'll take it down to a third. And I need that money for the mortgage and everything. And the rational brain says you can't afford to do this. And my interior in 1 year,
can you afford not to do it?
Can I afford not to do it? And what that is doing is it is opening that vacuum, which I am now with my planner, like filling with joy and excitement. And it reminds me of 2016 when I made more than 6 figures at my day job, the 911 job. I worked 80 hours of overtime and probably made 120. And I just quit. And I was only making about $30,000 from writing at that point a year. And I just quit. And I was like, how do you walk away from that kind of money when you need it to live? And I did it. And that's what I needed to do. And I really feel like this is what I need to do. Please tell me what's in your face.
Okay. I have one question and a comment. So I'm going to start with a comment. So last tax year, I would say 75% of my income was nonfiction.
Wow. And now, oh my God.
Now,
made the
95% of my income is fiction.
Okay, you're blowing my mind.
Yeah, that's okay. So I will do the math and I will tell you accurately because that is kind of like a gut guess. But I can't. It's got to be around the 90% figure. It's got to be because the amount that's coming in and how much less I'm getting from the nonfiction. And what happened is I took that leap of faith about 18 months ago when over the summer last year, and I had, or maybe it's, I had the come to Jesus moment. Then I read loads, then I committed. And Ellie basically said to me, it's now or never. Either you commit and you hold on real fucking tight to the roller coaster and, hope that it works. And if it doesn't, you have to do more nonfiction, and then you try again. But I committed wholeheartedly. And I do think that is partly why it's working. I think, well, and I do think I have hit the market at a point. I knew that Sapphic fantasy in particular was going to have its heyday. So I kind of read the market and went in at the right time. But that's not to detract from the fact that I did the work. And, I committed.
You worked your ass off. Yeah.
I worked my ass off. And I do think the universe bends the knee.
Yeah.
when you tell it, no, there is no plan B. This is plan A and that's it.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
do feel very much that things fall into place when that happens. So there's that. And the question is, so a year ago, we had a very similar conversation where you were like, teaching brings me joy. Teaching is everything. I need to do more of this. So I don't know if this is it's more of a say more, I think
Yes.
is the
Yes.
question. Say more about how you've come round to this.
Okay, that's such a good question because I don't want to give up helping authors and I don't want to give up being there for them. But serving a market who can only afford a high ticket item is displeasing me. I wrote it down somewhere. I think I taught 126 people this year, which gives me ultimate joy. Like the joy I get from teaching and the joy I get from writing, like writing is that 1% more. But the joy from teaching is just the tiniest notch below, or sometimes very equal. Um, but right now I'm only serving a market that can afford me. If I step back and finish this writing book that I wrote in November, I've got a 75,000 word book on writing, but writing with joy and ease. And it's the Mr. Rogers, Tim Gunn book that I've been wanting to write, right? Helping them at a $6.99 price point. I think I may want to do a DIY 90 days to done and 90-day revision, which would be at a much lower price point, which would have me at a very low level of support, very, very low. But then it would be affordable for more people. So that's in part of my plans. And in a bigger way, so you went wholeheartedly into the fiction. I have felt for a long time that I'm pulling away from the fiction and moving into the nonfiction, which is really the memoir-based stuff that I love. And I think that does as big a service for readers to read. Unstuck is done, and I'm doing the audiobook. The recovery memoir is on tap for this year. I've started a new memoir because I was memoirless. I wasn't doing writing a memoir. So there's more of that. And that to me goes into the service part of it than the teaching part of it. Does that make sense?
Yes. So when you say you want to earn more, so what was the exact word you used? You want to earn more from fiction or from writing?
From writing, not
Okay.
from fiction.
Okay.
Fiction, yes. If I feel moved to write fiction, like Seven Miracles of Beatrix Holland, like that was fantastic, and I sold that this year. Great. And that was because I felt moved to write that book. I do not at this moment, and anything could change. Like in 5 minutes, I could decide to write a series and go wholeheartedly into it. But right now, fiction is not lighting me up the way that the creative nonfiction, the memoir that I love doing, and that people resonate with. That's what I've been working toward doing more of, and that's what I'm going to just go like full swan dive into and commit to. So that's my sapphic fantasy is sapphic memoir and
I
really
love it.
and relationship stuff and difficulty stuff and learning how to live with ease and grace and learning how to, and I'm not, probably, I don't even know if I'll say this anywhere else, but I feel like only a few people listen here, even though I know our people listen, but I think regular listeners of my podcast tune out. I know my wife would never listen to this. I know my dad would never listen to this, but I will say that I'll admit to you, oh my God, this is going to give you a heart attack. The memoir this year will be me basically I haven't even said it out loud. And allowing myself to trust and surrendering and not having control over everything. Like moving into places where I cannot have control and where I don't know the outcome. Basically 2024. And that is the memoir. Like, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to have to get out of I need to control the universe around me space. I know, I'm so nervous about it. And I don't know what that will look like. I don't even know what this book is, and I'm committing to writing it.
Ellie made me do this homework
Tell
where
me.
for 30 days I had to write about control because
Mhm.
apparently I am a control freak
It's
and I
my
have a
biggest,
problem with control.
it's my biggest, it's honestly, I'm not even joking. It's my biggest problem. It's my biggest problem in my relationships. It's my biggest problem in my life and my stress levels. Um, and I'm so much better than I was before I got sober and,
And
found
I
spirituality and meditation. And I still suck so much. At it.
Can I give you a homework?
Fuck yes. Getting my pencil.
Why don't you do the 30 days on Patreon for your patrons? And it can be a paragraph. It could be a paragraph, but that will create the memoir for you, right? Like it will give you look in your face. I'm so sorry. You don't have to do this. You do not have to do this.
But that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm writing every day or 5 days a week, because for me, every day is 5 days a week. And I'm writing for 20 minutes, about 1,000 words or, 800 words, whatever falls. Kind of like my 500-word project last year, but it's the control project. And I was going to toss one up a month on Patreon, but I kind of like this idea of doing more. And because that was a question in my mind, like, how can I attract more patrons to this?
Well, so you don't make it so like constrictive. It needs to be 20 minutes. It needs to be 1,000 words. It needs to be. So what I did with Ellie, some days I literally wrote like 1,000 words, and other days I just wrote 2 sentences and that was it. And it was like my observations of control and my observations of me and what I'm trying to control, my observations of what controls me, my observations of other people and control. So it was just so like funny. A study. It was just an essay. It was an essay and a study and an observational kind of experience on control. But the point was, you don't make it, don't make it difficult if you only think of one thing, or you only, but what it does is it forces you to almost meditate on control. Yes. Every day. It's like that practice of looking at it and intent. And you have to, if you just commit to, I need to write at least one sentence. So how can I look at control differently today? And I tell you what, it was incredible by the end of it.
Did it change anything for you?
Yeah. I let go of a lot of stuff. Like,
you're kidding. This is what I want. This is what I want to hear.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like it really made me see how little I can control.
Yeah.
And like, I think that was the start, because this was when I did it when I was in South Africa. So this was over a year ago now.
Yeah,
and it was the start, and it was before I'd even written the first word in a Hearts and Heist. And so it kind of was the start of my shift in, I guess, the strength stuff, the healing the wounds, all of that stuff. I had to understand my problems with control. So yeah, it did. It shifted me loads.
I really thought, I honestly, because I'm a control freak, even in the way I think other people will think. And I assumed when I asked, did it change anything? You'd say, no, I'm just exactly the same. You just blew my mind by saying that it actually shifted something. Like basically the control freak diaries as I'm going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about when you meditate, how much does meditation change you?
Immense. I had not meditated in a week because of the travel and just, being out of things. Yesterday, I meditated for the first time in probably 10 days. And that's not like me. And I had the easiest day. It was crazy. Yeah. It was fun. I took off at 1. We went to the beach. That was because I meditated.
Exactly. And this is a meditation on control.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh my God. I love this. I love the end of the year. I love the end of the year. Should we talk about
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, we need to confess that both of our context, when we're talking about Clifton strengths, which means the strength of looking at history and looking at the past, we don't have it, we don't own it, and both you and I forgot to look at our goals from last year.
So I was trying to, I've kind of got like, because I had like a little thing in here that I'd done, but I mean it was mostly looking at Q3 and 4, and oh no, hang on, I found another page. I think I have got my goals.
Oh, good job. What were they?
So I wanted to write 3 to 4 fiction books, 1 to 2 nonfiction, some courses, an audiobook, earn more than the last year, establish a viable pen name. Oh my God, I'm so
cute. Wait, your voice broke. You're so what? Look, she's laughing so hard, her audio is muting out.
Sorry. Well, I just found it so funny that I'm like, establish a viable pen name. Tick, tick, tick.
Make some money. Tick, tick, tick.
Oh my God.
Well done.
Me. Yeah. Continue coaching, go to or have booked Venice. Fail. Read more books than last year. Tick. get fiction audio coaching. Well, I didn't do that, but I did sell the audio, and the audio is coming out January, February, March. So I'm gonna,
That counts.
yeah,
You don't have to do it yourself then. Yep.
yeah, learn to bake scones. Fail. But I didn't do the courses, but I did speak loads, and I have set up a webinar for February. Um, so and the other one was I wanted to reduce the amount of time I spent doing freelance. So tick. I mean, I pretty much smashed this year.
You absolutely did. You
Yeah.
absolutely did. I
Yeah.
cannot remember what my goals were. I know that they were probably to launch a book, and I did not manage to do that. Um, they were to help people, and I definitely did that. And I did find what I did this year. We bought and moved into a new house. I revised Seven Miracles, sold that in a traditional deal that pleased me. Got a dog. I finished and revised Unstuck, the New Zealand memoir. I'm prepping it to Kickstart. I taught, it's 132 students how to write books. I created a big course, how to publish in today's market, and sold that. I wrote a 77,000 word book on writing, the book of writing of my heart, which I have a title for it finally. I'll tell you in a moment. Went to the States. I wrote 60,000 words of another book, which I don't know what I'm going to do with. Those are just sitting there. And yeah, I think that's my list of things this year. So I did a lot, but I don't have the feeling of those accomplishments. And maybe that's what I'm looking for in 2024 too. Is a few more ticks, a few more ways to get readers, ways to please readers. I feel like I spent this year pleasing writers and really getting good at my craft of teaching. And now I want to go back to the craft of pleasing readers.
Yeah. It's that alignment thing. And obviously,
Yeah.
partway through the year, you've had a shift in alignment and didn't necessarily shift the goals. So that's what then next year becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have like a win list? Because I keep like a win list. And
No, but I should. I should keep that.
yeah,
What's on your list?
I mean, a lot of the things that we've said, like, I mean, it's actually, well, I'm almost embarrassed. I mean, it's just all the things basically that we've talked about. Other things that are on there are like the keynote. Um,
I mean, how many books did
getting,
you publish this year? Didn't you launch at least 3 or 4?
I've published 3, written 4.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then there's a lot of things like, yes, speaking things on there, achieving like highest income
Yeah.
several months running. Um, bestseller tags, all-star bonus, stuff like that. Yeah, it's the same stuff that we've talked about, just in a bit more detail.
I didn't
But
know
the
you got
point
an
was,
all-star bonus. Congratulations. That's incredible.
but it's because they shifted the way it works. So
Don't
that
don't don't denigrate it. No, that's amazing.
I'm sorry, but it is. Just to clarify, they have done it per genre now. And because obviously
Ah,
I'm in a smaller genre, because when you look at the page reads, my okay, so with this TikTok thing this month, my income now is 50% from paperbacks. 50% of my income is
that's
physical copies.
incredible.
Yeah, yeah. Well, paperback and hardback.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I hover between 20 and 25% KU. So I've actually made the decision not to put the next series in KU.
Fabulous.
And yeah, do other things that I'll tell you about
Fabulous.
after.
Because you could always put it in KU if you want to later, but you do not
Yeah.
have to start there. And for people wondering what an all-star bonus is, it is from KU and you get extra money from Amazon who like kicks you some cash when they say good job. It's
Yeah.
literally a bonus from the boss.
Yeah. And so if you're in a category that's super, super popular, like fantasy romance,
Yeah.
you don't stand a chance. But if you're in, well, no, you do stand a chance, but it's bloody fucking difficult to get
Yeah.
it. You've got to have millions of page reads. Whereas, if you're in LGBT fantasy, for example, like you can get a few 100,000 page reads and you'll get the bonus. So, but still,
I just realized that there is LGBTQ memoir category, and soon I have one already in there, and I will have 3 this year. Maybe I should focus my looks at that.
Well, so we talked about our words for the year next year, didn't we? But I've
Mm,
added one.
yes, and
Yeah,
I can't
because
remember what mine
was
were. I'll figure it out.
mine was niche and nurture. So niche, and that's
Right.
why I was saying so niche and nurture. But I've also added relentless to the mix. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Because I feel like that is the word for me. Just I need to be relentless next year.
That is perfect. That is
Yeah.
absolutely perfect. Do you want to talk about goals? Do you want to talk about what you're setting yourself?
So I am like, I honestly can't believe how underprepared I am for next year. But I think it's because I'm so aligned that I just know where I'm charging.
Hmm.
So I have done less planning than I've ever done. And I'm trying really hard to find some time to plan, but I'm just so busy doing that I am struggling. So what I have got for next year is a good, better, best system.
Hmm.
So I've got good, better, best, Everest, and golden win. So for next year, my good goal is 4 books, my better goal is 5, my best goal is 6, Everest is 7, and golden win is 8. So obviously I'm charging for 8, but I'm realistic. I'm
Yes. Yeah.
realistic,
Yeah.
right? Like, and so I've done that. That is plotted. And that's based on Cara and I writing 6,000 words a day
Hmm.
when we're writing. So
Hmm.
I have the whole of August off. I'm not writing in a whole other month. I can't remember which one it is, but there's a month on here where I'm so I think it's April. I'm mostly outlining and just, I don't know what I'm doing, not writing, editing at the beginning of the month. Um, and then that's taken into account speaking in Seville, Stockholm, London, Book Fair, and New
New
Zealand.
Zealand, which I don't think we've ever talked about on this show, but you are
We
coming.
mentioned it last
Oh, did
time.
we?
We
Okay,
mentioned
good.
it.
All
Yeah,
right.
we did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we did.
Oh,
So,
that's
and
right.
it
That's
is.
right.
I'm gonna book my flights next week.
I booked my flight this week. I mean, mine is a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Mine is $149.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
hundred American dollars. So yeah.
Oh my goodness me. Um, yeah, so I have tried to like add in whole weeks for like outlining here, whole weeks for this, whole weeks for that. But and there's 8 on the board, but whether or not I do that, I won't be unhappy. If I do more than 4, I'll be delighted.
Okay, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
That is a
And then I
great goal.
yeah, and then other things like working on Shopify. I've got some other things that I'll tell you about afterwards. And
Which
um
people will eventually learn about. Don't worry. I know when I always hear that on
yes.
podcasts, I'm like, oh, I don't get to know, but you will know. Sasha
Oh
will.
no, definitely. They will definitely
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
just it's when something's fragile.
Yes.
Yes, that's
My
just
book
it's
on
just
my book on control is fragile right now, but it's really only because I don't want my wife to know I'm writing. Can you imagine every 2 hours? What about your book, Rachel? Huh? Huh? What about your book? It's gonna come out at some point, but
yeah, yeah. We'll just pretend. We'll just pretend. Oh dear. Yeah. So I think that's probably it. I'm going to try and run some more webinars um and continue TikTok because it's working.
fabulous. This sounds
Yeah.
fantastic.
Nice and easy for next year.
Nice and easy. Yeah, 8 books.
Yeah.
Nice and
Yeah.
easy. All,
Yeah.
all of the
Just
things.
relentlessly right. And
But you
input.
but you figured out your method. What is your favorite input method besides reading? Is it just reading? Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would love to. So here's the thing, right? I'm mildly concerned with how many books I'm going to need to read next year because that is the
Yeah.
consequence. If I want to up my output, I have to up my input.
I actually, the
Um,
more I write, the more I have to read. I can feel it.
yeah,
It's almost like a tap that I need to
yes,
turn on and I'm running. The difference is incredible. Like as the more I write, the more I read. Isn't it
yep,
wild?
yeah, it really is. So this year, I think I don't know how many books, 108, 109,
That's
something like
awesome.
that. But I think in order to write 8 books, I would probably have to read 150
That means
books next year.
you have to fit it in your schedule.
Yeah,
It has to go in
yeah.
there.
Yeah. So I am slightly nervous about that because that feels like a very lofty goal. Um, but if I want to do it, if I want to write the books, I
Yeah.
have to have that restorative rest
Yes.
and creative input. And a lot of the stuff like the traveling, that's going to do input. I'm going to go to Venice. We've decided the reward for this month is to go to Venice. So that's going to happen. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
yay.
yeah. So and my next series will be based in Venice, I think. So that'll
My,
be done.
I'm hopefully also going to Venice this year, and because
Oh.
that's my town.
Mhm.
I've that's where I love. That's the town I love
Because
the
you've done
most.
retreats and stuff there, haven't you?
Yeah, I've probably been there 20 times.
Oh my God.
I used to go when in my 20s and 30s, I would get my tax refund and I would just immediately buy the ticket to Venice and I would go by myself. Most of the time I've been by myself there, but I've also gone with every important woman I've ever loved. Like that, my mother and both my sisters and my partner and an ex-partner. Like that's just where I take people and I've taken groups of
Oh,
people and yeah. So that's part of my
I love
plans
it.
actually.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. So your goals for next year?
My goals. I did this cool thing where I wrote out my writing plans and then my projects because so the projects really fall under like helping others, and the writing falls under helping me. Um, so a couple things. So, okay, I am getting the Kickstarter out of the door for Unstuck as soon as possible. The cover is done. I've just got to do the audio. In fact, as soon as I'm talking to Book Vault this week about I need a dust jacket for the hardcover. I can't not have it. I don't want to do a case laminate hardcover, so I'm going to see when they're going to have that in the States. But I've just got to get the proof, and then I can launch the Kickstarter of that. I've got to edit Seven Miracles, but that'll only take a week or two. I've got to remember to put that in there because it is due to my editor. I keep forgetting. And then I'm going to edit the book I'm calling The Writing Fix. And here's why, because number one, that title is not taken. I don't understand how that is possible. Like, but it's also kind of like a reference to, being a junkie for writing, the writing fix, and how to help ourselves go easier. And I'm not sure of the subtitle, but like, finding joy and compassion and ease in your writing, etc. But that goes with the recovery memoir, which is called The Fix. So I'm going to have the fix and the writing fix. I know. I didn't notice that.
Oh,
I didn't notice that until I had like spent days naming the writing book, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, that's good."
are you going
Um,
to write the lesbian fix or the control fix?
Maybe it's the control fix. I'm not kidding. I hadn't thought about that, dude. That's so good. Yeah, because that's so good. Um, and then I actually got back the rights to my three women's fictions books from Penguin, which are books I really love. So I've got to get those out there somehow. Not sure how. I need audio for those. And then maybe I probably won't have time for this, but there is a 90 Days to Done book that I've written most of, and it's out there. But the projects are to teach the one cycle of 90 Days to Done courses, then create the DIY courses. I have this Lost Leader course that I'm going to build, and I've already taught it. I just need to create it and give it away. The Control Fix book, and then
Look at you, like it's already named it.
I love it. No, I just called it that. It just slipped out of my mouth. And then in terms of, and then I scheduled them all for like the quarters of the year, and they look like they fit. They probably will not, but as we do, we rejigger. But then when I was looking at, because yesterday I really had my own come to Jesus money thing where I was like, okay, this is what I make. This is going to be the shortfall from doing this. So where can I make the money joyfully? And I actually I asked my email newsletter list this week. I said, like, I'm only going to teach this once. What would you like me to do for you that will help you? And person after person after person kept coming back saying, I need you to do retreats again. Please do retreats. So I'm going
Oh
to
my
do
God, I nearly asked you if you were going to do
I'm going to do
retreats.
online and in person. Because I've always wanted to do online, just like, and that would be cheaper for people. And then yesterday, I basically set up the Venice retreat, and then I realized, wait, why am I doing a Venice retreat? I could do that in the fall of next year, but why don't I do a New Zealand retreat? Because everybody keeps saying, like, I want to come to New Zealand and we'll do a writing retreat. So last night I couldn't sleep. I was looking at I'll probably book a hotel today. I'm looking at the end of April, which would be beautiful fall in Wellington. And so I'm going to do that. And then, so for money, we're talking about retreats. We're talking about, let's see, Kickstarter and the new book and getting, selling that on Shopify, et cetera. And I think that's what I've got right now. But just leaving room for not having control over every single way I can make money. I do not have to figure that out right now. It's the book to me is an exercise in trust, because when I'm controlling, I am not trusting. Yes. And when I trust, everything happens. And I do not know the best way for things to happen. And I hate that. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. So this is all part of it. I trust the money.
I have books on that 8-book production schedule, and I have no idea what they are. None.
Yeah.
I'm just trusting that it will come to me by the time I need to write it.
Yes.
And if I input enough and I live life enough, I'm sure an idea will come to me. I know, 100%. All I know is that the series after this one that I've done one in the 3 trilogy. I've got 2 other books that I know what they are that I need to write next year. But the next series, like sequential series, all I know is that it's going to be set in Venice. That's it. That's the only information I have. And I'm just trusting that I'll work it out, which is fucking scary because I am also a control freak. And I'm like, no, I need to be reading now. I need to know everything immediately, right now. What should I be researching? And I have no fucking idea. No idea what the tropes are. No idea who the market is.
But it will come to you, and it will drop into you, and you'll just recognize it. It will be as if you, and I always love those moments because in the next second, you're like, oh, how did I not know that? It's so obvious.
Yes. And talking about joy as well. So with High Activator, and this isn't necessarily for everybody with High Activator, but certainly for me, I much prefer standalone books. I prefer writing them. I prefer reading them. I know I am in the minority. Like most people like sequential series. So because competition likes money, we are writing a sequential trilogy. I don't think I can do more than a trilogy because I will get bored. My plan in terms of like book releasing structure is sequential trilogy. And then I'm going to write a series of interconnected standalones that I release every 6 months. So 2 of those kind of bookending the year kind of thing. Ooh. And in between them, I will release trilogies or duologies, duets, whatever.
I love this.
So that I get joy and ease of writing and I get the new and different, but then I also target to market and deliver something that I know will get the read through. And I'm hoping like this new, I'll tell you what the idea is for this interconnected, like 6 monthly one. I'm hoping I'll get the read through because of how I'm doing it. But basically I'm like relentlessly heading towards joy because the more joyful I am, the easier everything is.
That is the most important part of it. The more you love it, the more you're excited. I mean, it's so obvious. It's so obvious, and we tell ourselves this, but what you are doing there is you are understanding yourself deeply and setting yourself up for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I think the mistake I nearly made this year was giving myself expectations that were so high that I couldn't meet them and then almost burning out because of that. And that's why I'm really comfortable with this good, better, best, Everest, because, I wrote 4 books this year, whilst half of this year I worked 50% of my time was gone. So yeah. I'm comfortable that I can do 4 next year and, without breaking too much of a sweat with all the travel and everything. But then I've got the opportunity for more wins if I can do more than that. So especially, because I've got other projects and things. But yeah, I mean, it is that relentless pursuit of joy, I think.
I'm so excited about this next year. I don't know when I've been more excited about a year, honestly.
Neither do I. Yeah. So much so, I'm actually doing a New Year's Eve thing. I haven't done New Year's Eve in about 12 years.
What a great idea. I haven't done it in a long time either.
Yeah. Maybe and it's because I'm so optimistic for next year.
Yeah. I'm I feel very optimistic for you because you have a system that works. And whereas for me, I'm super optimistic, but also like I don't know how anything is going to work. I do not have a plan. Like I'm talking to you like I have a plan and I do have things written down for the year, but I don't know how this will work. And the other thing is that I have so much trust. Do I have too much trust? I don't know.
No,
I don't
because
think I do.
you have 100% success rate. You have won every year of your life so far. So like you are going to win next year.
What a good way to put it. And every time I've ever opened space for something, oh my God, I
Yes.
remember one time I cleaned off the front porch in our house and I said, and our front porch was like our dumping ground. And I remember saying, like, I have opened a space for something and I don't know what it is. And within a week, I had found a dog that had given birth to two puppies and they lived on the front porch. And one of those puppies still lives with my sister in the
Oh
space.
my
And I
God,
remember just
that's
thinking, this
amazing.
is literally what happens when you open space. And what I need to remember is to not overfill it, to not try to over control it, because I could feel myself doing that yesterday when I move into worry. Like actually, there's one thing about worry. Worry is problematic when it takes over my brain. Active concern and planning for being able to pay the mortgage and put food on the table. That's obviously something I enjoy thinking about and doing. And we have savings. Like we're not going to end up,
It's like
not
Tara
good.
Moore, I think it is, where she in Playing Big and she talks about the two types of fear.
I need to reread that. I haven't read that in a while. What are the
Yeah,
two
that's a
types of
good
fear? Do
one.
you remember?
I can't remember the names of them, but basically the physical responses. One is like the crushing, oh my God, I could die, or
Yes.
like this is true terror. And then
Mhm.
the other one is like the adrenaline pumping, almost it borders on excitement fear,
Mhm.
where you need to lean in because that's where growth happens. It's like that fear outside the comfort zone,
And you know
kind
that
of fear.
that I'm super into tarot, and one of the ways that the world around me is organized is I do believe that these cards, when I shuffle them and believe that they are ordered in a certain way for a reason, help me. And when I was thinking about taking this leap into this year, of course, I drew the Fool, which is this person they're standing on the edge of the cliff and their foot is off the cliff and they're stepping forward into thin air and there's a smile on their face and they're going because they will be supported. It's the very first start of the entire cycle
Oh my
of
God.
anything. And that's what I also drew the Empress for what does this look like if I do this? If I step back from this and move into this, and that's like the growth and the overflowing of everything. It's overflowing. So I know that this year will overflow.
I find that so interesting that you like tarot when you're a control freak. Does it not feel like the cards are trying to control you?
It doesn't, not at all.
Okay, so that's something to meditate on
yeah,
because
I'm
that's
writing.
an interesting, like, kind of dichotomy almost. Because, like,
Interestingly, because I have this belief in something out there that is not me, I don't call it God. But the day I got sober, more than almost, yeah, wait, I don't know how many years ago, 5 years, 3 years clean and sober. Anyway, the day I went to my first meeting, I admitted to myself that I was an alcoholic, and then I went to my first meeting, and I left the meeting, and I went like, I have to go somewhere. I have to go somewhere. I have to go do something. And I thought, I'm going to learn tarot. And I drove to a metaphysical store and I bought a tarot book and a set of tarot cards. And I had never wanted to do tarot before. And it took me like another year to even learn to read them. But and even if somebody's not woo and doesn't believe that they're ordered, what they are is a direct line into your subconscious. When you look at the card and you ask it for an answer, your subconscious gives you the answer perhaps that you were scared to give yourself when you're looking at the card? And is it coming from the card in the universe, or is it coming from your true inner knowledge that you couldn't get to by yourself, but you can get to it when you see an
mm,
image and say, how do I translate this into what I need? You know what you need, whether that is
it's
you
like a framework. It gives
yeah,
you the
that's all it is.
framework.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I find that fascinating. Yeah, I find the whole, you should definitely think about like control and what
Yeah.
it is that you believe, not God necessarily, but like what that external power and faith is. Because like for me and control, I have absolute unwavering belief that if I make a decision, I can make that happen, whatever it is, I will make it so. Like, and that's one of the things that I spoke about in Vegas, like the difference between like a decision and a decision. And and it is like, I suppose in a way it yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm going to waffle if because I can't quite bring the words out. I need to go away and intellect on it. But there's no, I'll have to go away and think about it, and I'll probably end up Marco Poloing you about control and like those types of decisions. But yeah, I'll Marco you.
There's something, and I need to think about it too, but there's something in the cards for me that is a direct experiment in trust as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this year's memoir will be, an experiment in trust. And when I pull the cards, sometimes I'm like, I do not get it. And I always pull every day. I pull like, what is my soul like? I call it the mirror card. And what is my medicine card? So what medicine should I take to make today better? And sometimes I pull them and I go, this doesn't make any sense to me. And then I'll walk by the cards later that day. I'm like, oh yeah, I did break my own heart by being a dick today. Like, good job, Rachel. I should have remembered I was trying not to be a dick. And obviously, any day that somebody reminds me to not be a dick is a good day. Like, somebody needs to remind me. Sometimes it's myself and sometimes it's the cards.
Do you ever do things because of the cards?
Yes, absolutely. I'll wake up fractious. I'll wake up like just nervy and jumpy, and I'll pull the card that says, you're going to fight with everybody today. And I'll leave it on my desk. And all day I'm like, oh, I want to fight. I'm not going to fight today. And I'll come out and somebody will irritate me. And instead of snapping, I'll go, oh, yep, nope, I'm on the edge of that anyway. And I'll take a deep breath and walk away. And then my day goes so much better. And I mean, honestly, is that just good advice for every day? Yes, but I don't seem to draw that Five of Swords card about don't be a dick to everyone else, except for the days where I'm about to do it. So yes, it changes things that way. It just helps me be a better, more loving person. And if I trust
love that so much. Yeah. Yeah. If you trust it. Exactly. Oh, control and trust.
Yeah. Control and trust.
Are they on opposite ends of the spectrum?
Yes. To me, they are. And that's what I say today. And maybe after some examination, they will not be. And the other word that I'm thinking about that would just make you fall on the floor dead, but is like surrender. Like, how do I surrender to what is not my business and get out of the way?
Oh, so that's interesting. The other thing that I have developed is the ability to walk away from things that I may previously have had to have commented on,
yes,
or felt compelled to be like, to encourage people to make different choices or decisions, because either I've learned I've made that mistake or XYZ. And now I'm much more able to go, do you know what? Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yes.
Like, because I had to learn the hard way, other people have to learn the hard way. And I kind of like test the water a little bit by like, I'll say like a thing. And if I don't hear the openness that I need to hear, I just walk away. I don't even bother trying to, and it's hard.
It's hard, but it is more peaceful, isn't it?
It is. It is. Because I don't expend wasteful energy that I don't need to waste, because you got to know your audience.
Yeah. All right, 2024.
Oh, it's going to be a good year.
Thank you for having this conversation with me.
Yeah, thank you. I love our conversations. They're always so deep and meaningful.
I will talk to you in the next year. Happy New Year, darling.
And you.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to tune in and subscribe on your podcatcher. And when you have a moment, please leave a review.